My second point on my winning formula is the compass. All right, so the compass is a tool. Okay, now when I say compass, I don't expect you to know this language, but a compass is a tool to help you prioritize, not neglect, your most important roles. And it's also your compass, your place to identify your time to sharpen the saw. Now let me talk a little bit about sharpen the saw, but really what a compass is, it's basically a goal sheet. My compass is on, so on my phone, I've got a notes application, as all of you do. My compass takes up one of the pages on notes. That's the digital version I use for compass. Years ago when I was doing paper, and I'll get into all that in a second, paper, digital, all that stuff, but I used a paper compass through the training that I had, so every week, it basically, I'm like, boy, this sure looks a lot like a goal sheet. It's got all my roles on there. It's my goal sheet. This is my compass as I'm going to plant my big rocks in my calendar. I'll get into that shortly, but the compass is basically an upgraded goal sheet. It's Goal Sheet 2.0. I know you're all familiar with goal sheets. You've been doing it since the day you started in the business. I want you to continue that habit and replace it with a compass. Just take your goal sheet and morph it a little bit. But the compass is really all about identifying roles and sharpening the saw. I want to read to you what Stephen Covey says about sharpening the saw. This really hit me. This is in the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Habit 7 is sharpen the saw. So he writes, this is straight out of the book. It is said that wars are won in the general's tent. Sharpening the saw in the first 3 dimensions, the physical, the spiritual, and the mental, is a practice I call the daily private victory. And I commend to you the simple practice of spending 1 hour a day, every day doing it, 1 hour a day for the rest of your life. There's no other way you could spend an hour that would begin to compare with the daily private victory in terms of value and results. It will affect every decision, every relationship. It will greatly improve the quality, the effectiveness, and every other hour of the day, including the depth and restfulness of your sleep. It will build the long-term physical, spiritual, and mental strength to enable you to handle difficult challenges in life. So again, my compass has sharpen the saw. What am I doing every day to sharpen the saw, to make sure I'm not neglecting the 4 important areas of my life? Again, he covered the big 3 in the daily private victories. Anybody know what the 4th one is that he didn't put in the daily private victories? Well, that's part of spiritual. The social emotional one. That's not really private, is it? So the private ones, physical, spiritual, mental, you're sharpening the saw every day. He says you do that every day, it's going to affect every other decision throughout the day. And a habit that I have adopted, and Vera has adopted. Many of the people succeeding in the business, they are not neglecting sharpening the saw. But let's go back to roles, okay? This compass here that I'm talking about. So I've been using ChatGPT a good amount lately. Do you guys use ChatGPT? Instead of just Googling, right? So I went to ChatGPT. I'm like, roles. That's all I typed in. Here's what ChatGPT told me. Roles are defined as the positions or functions that individuals take on within a group. They encompass the expectations, responsibilities, and behaviors associated with that position. So just think of the roles. You can start jotting some of these down now. You already know there's a call to action coming up, but let's just start thinking this through. Like, are you a sister or a brother? I mean, that's a role, is it not? Again, think of roles. Expectations, responsibilities, behaviors. Yeah. Are you a daughter or a son? Are you a wife or a husband? A girlfriend, boyfriend? Are you a friend? Okay, let's get into some nerdy stuff. Are you an owner? Are you an assistant manager? Can we get some subcategories under that? Like for owner, are you a sales trainer? We talked about that in the previous workshop with Click. Are you a people developer? Right. So again, instead of just like, well, I'm an owner, that's a role. Well, no, I wear a cap that says sales trainer every single day. I'm teaching sales. I wear a people developer hat every day. I think those are crucial roles in my business. Am I a recruiter? So I have 9 roles. I've clearly identified mine. I've spent some time. Now, I could have come up with a longer list. I've shortened it to 9. I am a Christian. I'm a husband. I'm a father. I'm a consultant. I'm an owner. I'm a family/friend member. I'm a personal growth junkie. I'm a business growth driver, and I'm an author. And so on my compass/goal sheet, I've got sharpen the saw. I've got my 9 roles, and I'm asking myself some tough questions before I get into weekly planning, or should I say as I get into my weekly planning. So your call to action, you've got 72 hours. You've got till Sunday night. I want you to clearly identify the most important roles in your life. Create a compass. Feel free to email me if you guys are a little stuck on this, because again, I know you're familiar with Goal Sheet. I just want you to upgrade it a little bit more here and call it your compass.